Hey, church family, it's Pastor Rich. I just wanted to check in with you today, Thursday, November 5th, 2:33 in the afternoon. I guess bring you greetings, say hello, hope that you all are doing well. I know that the election has people in a frenzy, people concerned, worried, some excited, depending on who you voted for. It just seems our nation is the most divided it's been in a long time, although I'm not sure that's necessarily true. But nevertheless, we sit here on Thursday and we don't exactly know who our next president is going to be, as we wait on the final tabulation of votes, and then and then whatever the lawsuits are, or the other recall, or not recall, but recounts that have been ordered. I guess I'm just wanting to come to you and bring a semblance of peace. It doesn't matter who becomes president, because it does matter, but it doesn't matter because our president is not our king. Jesus Christ is our king. Jesus Christ reigns supreme. And as Christians, it shouldn't matter who becomes president for us to live and act and be Christians. Regardless of what the outcome of this election is, as Christians, we live Christ. We love God. We love others. And I believe wholeheartedly that as citizens of the United States, we should put into place our duties, our rights to vote or not, if that's what you choose, to vote. But the United States is not our king. When I identify myself, I don't identify myself as a Republican or Democrat. I don't identify myself first as a husband or father. I don't identify myself first as a hunter or a fitness enthusiast. I don't identify myself first in any of those categories, not even as a pastor. It's Christ follower first. I'm a Christian, and that should flavor everything that I'm about. Everything. God first should flavor everything that I'm about, and it should flavor everything that I am a part of. Others should see Christ in me, right? And others should see Christ in you. And so we have to be really careful with how we respond to the outcome of this election. We have to be really careful with how we respond to things, because we have the ability through our words to draw people to Christ. We have the ability through our actions, to draw people to Christ, or to make Christ known among the nation, or we have the ability to push people away. And I really believe that the Lord is calling us to be salt and light in a world without flavor and in a world of darkness. I believe that wholeheartedly. And so I hope that whatever the outcome, we can move forward as a people of prayer, praying for our leaders, whoever they may be, praying for the Lord to be a part of their life, to draw them closer to Him, praying and doing what we can for those who have no voice, both the unborn, which we want to protect the unborn, but also those that are born, also those that are alive that don't have a voice. We need to be advocates for them as well. And so I don't have all the answers. I just know that Jesus is the answer. He has been the answer in my life. He's transformed my own life. He continues to transform my life. He continues to redeem me. He continues to lead me in powerful, powerful ways. He continues to make me more like himself as I surrender myself to him, as I surrender myself, myself to him. I'm made more like him every day. And so I pray and I hope that you're holding on to that truth and that hope today. I want to read from Oswald today. I thought it appropriate, just because I know that I spoke to a few people today that's just small business people that are suffering under this, under the regulations of amidst COVID. Things are just really difficult for a lot of people still. And I know there are a lot of people suffering. A lot of those that I spoke to today are professed believers, Christians who believe, in Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, and still are a part of this community and businesses and are suffering. And Oswald's devotional for, I guess this is yesterday's devotional, November 4th, is called Partakers of His Suffering. 1 Peter 4:13, but rejoice to the extent that you partake of Christ's sufferings, is the premise. And this is what Oswald writes. If you are going to be used by God, He will take you through a number of experiences that are not meant for you personally at all. They are designed to make you useful in His hands and to enable you to understand what takes place in the lives of others. Because of this process, you will never be surprised by what comes your way. You say, oh, I can't deal with that person. Why can't you? God gave you sufficient opportunities to learn from Him about that problem, but you turned away, not heeding the lesson because it seemed foolish to spend your time that way. The sufferings of Christ were not those of ordinary people. He suffered, quote, according to the will of God, 1 Peter 4, verse 19, having a different point of view of suffering from ours. It is only through our relationship with Jesus Christ that we can understand what God is after in His dealings with us. When it comes to suffering, it is part of our Christian culture to want to know God's purpose beforehand. In the history of the Christian church, the tendency has been to avoid being identified with the sufferings of Jesus Christ. People have sought to carry out God's orders through a shortcut of their own. God's way is always the way of suffering, the way of the, quote, long road home. Are we partakers of Christ's sufferings? Are we prepared for God to stamp out our personal ambitions? Are we prepared for God to destroy our individual decisions by supernaturally transforming them? It will mean not knowing why God is taking us that way, because knowing would make us spiritually proud. We never realize at the time what God is putting us through. We go through it more or less without understanding. Then suddenly, we come to a place of enlightenment and realize God has strengthened me and I didn't even know it. I hope that you are prepared for that long road home. I hope that you are prepared for that enlightenment to come. This next season of our lives may well be a season of suffering. We are in the midst of that with COVID-19 and massive differences in opinion and massive restrictions placed on businesses and life in general. We may be put out because we don't like masks, or we don't like people who don't wear masks, or whatever the spectrum of this circumstance you find yourself. I guess I hope that you can surrender self to Christ, and then suddenly, someday down the road, come to a place of enlightenment and realize that God has strengthened you and you didn't even know it. This Sunday, we are going to have a guest speaker. His name is Aaron Daniel Baer. He's a writer. Him and his family have recently become a part of our church. They transferred their memberships here. His dad and mom, Daniel and Coralie Bear, were missionaries for over 30 years. Recently retiring from being missionaries over in the Asia Pacific region, I believe at the seminary over there. And they've been a part of our church family for a little while now. But Aaron's going to bring the message on Sunday. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. We're going to be in John 1. John 1, go ahead and read that this week, John 1. And he's going to really focus on the Word. Again, I'm just excited to hear from him. This pulpit here in this church is not mine, it's the Lord's. And so I'm excited that the Lord is choosing to use him to bring a message to us. So I hope that you look forward to hearing from him as well. I'm sure he'll explain a little bit about who he is, perhaps on Sunday. I'll be here. I just won't be preaching. I'm using this time to prepare. There's been a lot of stuff going on in our church family. If you've been a part of our prayer groups or our Facebook page for church or received emails, we've had a few deaths. Jerry Hines recently passed. Elwyn Ruggles just passed just yesterday. And my daughter-in-law's grandmother passed a few weeks ago. Doing the service for them on Saturday. Elwyn's service is on Monday, and Jerry's is in a couple of weeks. Small service at the cemetery on the 23rd. So there's just a lot of things going on. There's also a lot of stuff happening, people having surgeries, and just posted a prayer requests for Wayne. Other people that are just really going through stuff. Bob Beachy and Dave Welton really going through some stuff right now. Larry McCauley just continues to fight and just kind of face a circumstance that's difficult. And there's lots of people that are sick. COVID tests were negative, but there's just a lot of people that have been sick. And so I'm using this time of not preaching on this Sunday to kind of take care of the church family in the best way that I'm able, and to prepare for what this next series of messages will be. I've been studying in Isaiah, but I keep feeling the Lord nudging me toward unity. And so I'm beginning to study Jesus' words on unity, being one with him and the Father. That always leads me to John, and I feel bad that I'm always preaching from John for you. And there's so much to glean from Scripture, but I'm allowing the Lord to lead. And so I look forward to Sunday. I look forward to tomorrow. Today is the day that we've been given, so make the best of today. Grow in your faith today. Surrender more of yourself today to God and become more like him today. And then when tomorrow comes, worry about tomorrow. And do the same thing. Surrender, grow, and become more like Christ. I hope that you are all doing well. I love you all. I look forward to seeing you all at the reunion. And as always, I just am so humbled. I'm honored to be allowed to be your pastor, and to do this in the midst of this really challenging circumstance. Requires a lot of my own surrender, for sure. But the Lord has equipped me in ways that I would have never known were specifically meant for such a time as this. And so I pray that you just hang in there, keep praying. I'm thinking of beginning a prayer time, maybe one every other week on Wednesdays for an hour here in the church. I've been feeling the nudge to kind of open the church up for prayer. Whether you come or not is fine. I just been feeling that, and we're gonna look into what that may mean in the next couple of weeks. We're also really looking to open up our worship service and kind of bring back our child care. But people are leery and the circumstances up in the air, and we're just not able to staff that at this moment. And so we may be pulling back on that a little bit, depending on what the next couple of weeks means in terms of people and their responses. If the Lord is nudging you in any way to be a part of TRNAS in any capacity, please contact us. Please let us know. We're one body, right, with many parts, and all of those parts working collectively make a healthy body. We just don't want to. We don't want to stop meeting. We do not want to go back to online only. We want to have this place open and have this place as a resource for people to come and grow together. And so if that means we have to wear masks more often in the future, you know what? I'm down for that. I wear them every time I sing. I wear them. I try to remember to wear them always when I'm around people. I'm of the belief that whatever it takes for us to continue meeting, I'm willing to do that. If I got to preach in a hazmat suit, I will do it because you are important to me. Your faith is important to me. Your depth of growth and relationship in Jesus Christ is important to me. It's really all that matters. And so I love you all. I pray that you have an incredible rest of your Thursday, and that tomorrow morning when you wake up and see that sunrise, that you thank the Lord for another day, and then you make the most of it. God bless you guys. We'll see you on Sunday at the reunion.